So, an interesting bit of news here. We've got a recent announcement that the first 6 James Bond films, the Sean Connery films, that's Doctor No, From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, Thunderball, You Only Live Twice, and Diamonds Are Forever. Obviously, there was the George Lazenby on Her Majesty's Secret Service between You Only Live Twice and Diamonds Are Forever, but this is the Sean Connery box set, released in 4K on 4K Blu-ray. Now, there's 2 different alternatives that you can have at the moment that I can see. There's a steelbook set, and there is just like a standard set. The standard set looks like it's about £80. The steelbook looks like it's about £120. So, and these come out on the 30th of June, apparently. So, let's just have a quick look. So, some of the basic information there. Obviously, we know what the films are all about, so we'll scroll through that. The extra features. Now, I've owned many of these, well, pretty much all versions over the years. I bought the original DVDs that started getting releases in the year 2000. Then they got an upgrade DVD release that was 2 discs in 2006 from memory. And then at some point later on, the Blu-rays came, I think shortly after that, with pretty much the same content but just in HD. So the question has been, when are they going to get 4K releases? Well, they're starting out slowly, as they've done in previous examples. I seem to remember this happened when the Blu-rays came out many, many years ago. They didn't just suddenly release all of them all at once. So we're getting the Sean Connery box sets for starters. I say box sets, plural, the steelbook and a standard one. This is the steelbook. Now let's have a look at some of the artwork. So this is the actual case that it comes in from the looks of things. So Doctor No from 1962, directed by Terence Young. Similarly directed by Terence Young from Russia with Love in 1963. 1964, Goldfinger, directed by Guy Hamilton. 1965, Thunderball, directed by Terence Young, who returned having done the first 2 films. You Only Live Twice, directed by Lewis Gilbert in 1967. Then 1971, Diamonds Are Forever, directed by Guy Hamilton, who also did Goldfinger before that. So that's it in terms of the artwork. Now we're on Amazon. I'll just quickly move across to Amazon to show you the standard version. So this is the standard version, that's £80. You can see from the review the number of stars that it's had. It's only had got 1 star out of 2 reviews, which is interesting because it hasn't been released yet, but I think people, based on what they've seen here, aren't happy. Well, 2 people aren't happy because they're saying that the artwork is pretty terrible. I kind of see what they mean. It's not the best. I mean, it certainly stands out from the ones that we've had before. It's good just to not have a rehash of what we've already had. But yeah, some artwork there. See the way that the writing kind of cuts off, where it says 00 means he, and then it just cuts off, and then a license to kill who he chooses, and then it cuts off. So kind of sucks. I can see it's done intentionally. It's not an accident. It's got a style to it, I guess, but it's not everybody's choosing. They could have done better, I think, and that was the criticism here. Now, in terms of extra features specifically, you can see here what's included. So I'll go through each one slowly so you can have a quick read. Similar to what we've already had previously. I think at this stage there's not a huge amount of stuff that they can include with future releases. I can think of a few things that would be pretty good. Going back to the old Criterion Collection days, if you're aware of those audio commentaries that got banned. Certainly interesting. I don't think they'll ever see the light of day officially. But if you want to check them out on YouTube, they are about. Certainly interesting. You can see why they were banned, but that's a different discussion for a different day. Now, I'm really happy about this because I'm a big 4K fan and collector. I don't know whether or not I will buy this when it comes out. Hear me out here. I think I would just wait. I would just bide my time until the entire collection comes out and just buy them all as one big box set, because that will come. Not only is it cheaper, it's less messy. I'm not a big fan of having these different box sets kind of broken down. Having said that, I do already have the Daniel Craig collection in 4K, so I guess it would kind of make sense to have them done by actor. But then again, I'm assuming that the artwork and so on, it'll all get re-released to be consistent with this collection here as well. And I'm not usually a fan of steelbooks, but these do look quite nice, to be fair. And James Bond is like the biggest thing that I'm into, so I wouldn't mind going a bit further out. I feel like I'm in a position in life where I can justify spending a bit extra money on things that I'm really into. So I might potentially, we'll see. What do you think? What will you go with? Will you rush out to buy these straight away, or will you wait until the complete collection comes out and you can just buy one big box set? One dilemma that we've always had in the past as James Bond film collectors is that as the movie franchise continues to be added to with new films once in a blue moon, as far as I'm concerned, those days are over. The 25 films that we've got are all we're ever going to get, as far as I'm concerned. I know they are going to make future films, but who's they? Well, it's not the family that made these movies, it's Amazon. And by the way, the year is now 2025, and I don't know if you've seen the state of current movie franchises. They've all been burnt to hell. And looking at the hands that the James Bond franchise is now in, that is certainly going to be the case in any future movies that come out. So as far as I'm concerned, when they do bring out a full 4K box set with all 25 movies, you're not going to have that problem of then having 25 films plus one when the next film comes out in 2028 or 9 or whenever. So yeah, that's kind of a good thing in a way from that point of view. Sorry to sound a bit negative here, but I'm not negative about it. I love these movies. What, 25 of them, man? That's a lot of movies. And I think it's an era that's come to an end in terms of movies. It didn't have to come to an end. They could very well, in the right hands, they could make Bond 26, 27, 28 with a new actor. It could be great, but movies aren't in great hands at the moment. So unless they're going to leave it until this terrible era blows over, I think the 4K box sets and the previous re-releases are as good as it gets, and I'm happy with that because it's great. 25 great movies. I'm happy to end it there. So it's not a negative note to end on, and it is to the point because, like I say, the question is, are you going to get these movies in this box set and just buy the ones as and when they come out, or are you going to bide your time, maybe save a bit of money and just get the complete collection? Are you going to go for the steelbook versions and so on? So I think I've kind of covered enough ground there, so I'll leave it there. So anyway, if you subscribe to the channel, I will attempt to do updates on this as and when they come about. I don't do a lot of videos. I do have some James Bond related stuff planned for the near future, so thanks for everyone who's been continuing to subscribe to the channel during a bit of a down period where there's not been much content, but the channel is old enough, you'll know we go through phases where sometimes we do loads of videos, sometimes we don't do so many videos, so we're just in the latter phase at the moment, but that should change hopefully in the near future. So I will leave it there and say thank you very much for watching.